Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this free-for-all Friday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys are ready to kick things off, kick your game day weekend off the right way with us here at the Miller's Edge, getting you guys ready for this matchup against Wisconsin tomorrow. Again, 11 a.m. kickoff, very early one. On the bright side, though, my post-game show for after the game will be done way earlier. I'll be done in the afternoon, which is nice. It won't be 1 a.m. when I'm finishing up talking football. That's always a little tough, man. I'm getting old, man. I was complaining, obviously, about, realize that, dang, just as you get older, man, you definitely feel it. But I also realized, man, staying up is not my thing. And I'll tell you this. I just was telling you guys before we came on here, last night, went to the wrestling event, Crimson Clash. It was at Two Dimes here in Tuscaloosa, and listen, it was a great turnout, man. I was actually really impressed with the turnout. I didn't know what to expect because you just know. I mean, listen, I'm a big wrestling fan. Chase, I know you're a big wrestling fan, but I didn't know about here in Tuscaloosa. I didn't know how it was going to end up, especially being at a new venue like Two Dimes. But man, it was awesome. And shout out to Joe Gaither, right? Who used to do work here at Town Square. He was basically the ring announcer, and he did a phenomenal job. But man, it was the venue. I'm telling you guys, it like with the lighting and the sound system. I mean, it was great. And then I was really impressed with the matches, guys. I mean, that was like the first time I've gone to. Well, no, second. When I was younger, I had gone to an indie show, and I had gone to some WWE events when I was a kid. But this is like my first, I guess, indie show being older, right? And it was cool, man. Really cool. A lot of former Bama alumni were actually taking part in it, and just a really cool turnout, man. So I'm hoping that since it went so well, they'll bring it back again because, I mean, with the venue and everything, it was awesome, man. I mean, they had the seats, and I'll try to pull up a picture in a minute, but they had like the seats like right there. I mean, it was just really cool, man. And then crazy enough, Chase, one of the guys wrestling, I didn't even realize at the time. I just was watching. I was like, dang, this is a good match. It was the first one, right? I realized one of the guys wrestling, I know the guy. He works at the gym I used to go to, right? Or I still go to every now and then. But I was like, man, that's awesome. Good for him. And he killed it, man. He crushed it. So shout out to him for doing that. He said he'd been training for like 9 months now, but really good stuff. So if you guys are into wrestling like me and Chase are, and you're in the area, man, make sure you still can check them out. I'm gonna give them a shout out because they were awesome, man. It's called New Era Wrestling. I think they typically are in the Jasper area. So I think you can check that out pretty frequently there. But hopefully, they'll start having some more stuff around here, like with the, Two Dimes venue, because that was really cool to do. And I had a hell of a time, man. I even got to get in the ring because that's always been one of my things, Chase. I don't know if you're like me, but I've always had that curiosity, like, how does the ring actually feel? You know what I mean? Because you see them fall and like they just land on their back, their head. And you just assume like, oh, I'm sure it's probably like cushion, right? Well, Chase, the answer is it's not very soft, man. It's literally like wooden boards, but then they've got like a little layer of like somewhat padding, but it's very stiff. Now, the wrestlers I was talking to all of them, they did tell me that ring was more stiff than some of the others for sure. But I took a little bump, right? I took whoa, wait, hold on. If you in the context of wrestling, I took a bump, meaning that's where you fall, right? You basically you take a fall, right? Let me clarify because that definitely could come out totally wrong if you don't understand wrestling terminology. But that wasn't too bad. Then I got to do a little roll in the ring here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, here it is. Chase, tell you guys on the stream, tell me my form, right? So here I am doing a little roll in. Chase, what do you think, man? Get on the mic. Tell me what you think, right? I mean, you watch wrestling.
Got some potential,
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let it run.
Stiff.
No, it was slow.
Rolled on in there. Sometimes people get them they get tangled in the bottom rope.
Dude, well, see, that's why I went slow because, like I said, it's first time ever doing this, right? And so I just was like, I mimicked what I see on TV, bro. Listen, and then She's like, "Nah, you got to get on the ropes." So I got on the ropes. I got to flex on the ropes a little bit, pound my chest. Yeah, man, it was cool, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I know you guys that probably aren't into wrestling are like, dude, what are you talking about? They just listen. It was like not necessarily living out a childhood dream, but look, growing up, man, we always used to wrestle. I don't think you had a childhood if you didn't grow up wrestling with your brothers or cousins, playing around, copying the entrances. Like mine was, I had a dirt bike growing up, right? And my entrance, I rolled into my dirt bike, and my finisher was like cutting a backflip off like a power box at the apartments we grew up in, right? So like being able to feel the ring stuff, and I was asking them a million questions, like, all right, so it's like the chair shots and this and that. I basically got to get all that stuff answered. So again, man, it was a really cool event. Shout out to New Era Wrestling. Again, they are in Birmingham area, I believe, like Jasper, I believe. Consistently, I think it was their second time in Tuscaloosa. First time at Two Dimes. The first time they ever came, I think they're like outside. But this time, I'm telling you guys, with the lights and the sign, I mean, it was a really cool event. They did a great job. So shout out to those folks there for putting on such a great event, man. I had such a great time. I mean, I loved every bit of it, man. I feel like a kid. So anyway, now that we got that out the way, just know we are going to dive into football talk. Definitely about to talk about this Wisconsin game. It's prediction day. We've been talking about matchups, things to expect. So I'll keep that brief, right? I don't want to bore you guys with the same stuff. So I'll give, again, to generalize it, right? What do I expect to go on in this game? Give my predictions. But the biggest thing is I want to get y'all's predictions. It is Prediction Friday. Got to see if we can get somebody to hit the nail on the head, man. We still haven't had that yet, right? So make sure you guys are dropping your predictions. You can do it here on YouTube. But again, keep receipts of it. I'll try to make sure, again, I don't unprepared. That's the flag on me. I'll try to find one here in a minute. But I'll make sure I write everything down the best I can, but keep receipts just in case you do get it right. That way we can go back if we need to. And we might actually be able to go just check the chat, actually, now that I think about it. But we'd love for you guys to call in 205-342-9904. So we'll talk about this Alabama-Wisconsin matchup, get you guys ready for that. Of course, we got to do that. We'll take a look around college football in general, look at some of these other matchups. We'll be joined by Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars at 12 to get his smoking hot picks. So if you guys are into putting some little wagers on games, right? Maybe listen more. Reagan's better with the betting side of things. I'll be honest with you. And I'll give you some football takes, but I always tell people. As a matter of fact, I was on a betting show. Was it last week, I believe? And excuse me. It was week 1. And Chase, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally, and I'm talking about, it was like a big like Vegas betting show. They just reached out to me. And they wanted me to break down the Florida State game. And I prefaced, and I'm like, I know you guys are a betting sports show, but just hear me out. I'm not in that stuff. So whatever I tell you guys on the show, do not get mad at me or use it. Just take it with a grain of salt. And sure enough, I'm not going to lie. The breakdown I gave is what I gave on here about saying, I like Bama in this game, but I do see some challenges. And I talked about the Gus Malzahn, the Tommy Castellanos thing. So they probably are pretty glad I did that, because I might have steered people away from taking the points bet or something. I might have helped some people out. But just know, I'm not an expert when it comes to that. So please do that stuff responsibly. That being said, let's hit a timeout. We come back, we'll get things started, talking this Alabama-Wisconsin game, talking predictions, keys, all that good stuff. We got plenty of time to do it. So we'll take our time. And per usual, man, drop those questions. I know we've got plenty of them. Drop them down in the chat. Drop them in the app message inbox on that Tidal 100.9 app. That is free to download if you guys haven't already. What are you waiting for? You can listen to this show, all the other shows, get all that stuff right there on the app. So make sure you guys do just that. And we'll hit it all right here on the Miller's Edge, Tidal 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Support Experts, home of those premium art supports designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, hip pain, you name it, they will take care of it. So make sure you let them take care of you. Midtown Village, where you find them here in Tuscaloosa, right there off of McFarland Boulevard. Walk-ins are welcome, or you can always schedule an appointment on their website, goodfeet.com, right, and find more information and the nearest location to you. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Of course, I unmute right when I'm about to clear my throat. My bad, guys. Cut a sick promo for this Bama-Wisconsin game. Whoa, now, Carson, we got to take one step at a time, brother. One step at a time, bro. I mean, I'm working on, I'm gonna say taking a fall, because if people don't know wrestling, they're gonna hear taking a bump, be like, whoa. Got to work on my mechanics first, man. I'm not gonna lie. That would, you know what's crazy? They asked me, they're like, dude, you got the build, man. Obviously, you're athletic, man. You would be great at this. I was like, guys, whoa. That would be cool and all, but after seeing that street fight that they did, I was like, nah, I'm good on that, bro. Plus the promos, man. I don't know, but that would get me. Chase, that's the only problem, bro. I don't know. The promos, I would feel so awkward. And we talked about it. It's like the solo promos. Like, I know I give Jey Uso a hard time, but going out and cutting a solo promo, like, again, I mean, obviously I do public speaking. I'm not a fan of it, believe it or not. But when you're just talking about football or something that you just know, excuse me, that's one thing. But you're talking about, you're basically acting in front of thousands of people and millions of people watching, and you're like playing a role, so to speak, and having like show this quote unquote fake emotion. Nah, bro. Yeah, I just probably have to be one of those dudes that wears a mask and don't talk much. Oh yeah, exactly, Smith. Yeah, and I went to school with Oba. Oba's cool as hell, bro, and he's strong as an ox. But Oba is legit. I forgot Smitty's a wrestling fan too, man. But Oba, oh, that dude used to lift so much weight, bro. I mean, it was ridiculous. Oba probably would have been a hell of a defensive tackle. Oba probably would have been, man. Shoot. Yeah, Alabama has he still does fight Eric Anders. As a matter of fact, he's good friends with folks at Two Dimes as well, so he's up there a lot too. Shoot, that's what they need to do next. I told him, like, dude, they need to bring boxing in there. They need to bring UFC, like, which I think they have plans of doing. I think they do have plans. I mean, because they put the ring. Let me see. Let me pull this up real quick so I can show you guys. Golly, man. Let me see. New Era Wrestling. Shoot, they probably got clips from. Yeah, they do have clips from last night. Yeah, like this was crazy. This part right here was nuts. This dude went off the damn. What's this? Yeah, man. I mean, that dude, he was a good wrestler, man. Wait, matter of fact, I'm up here, right here. Yeah, I'm right here. You see Nacho? So like, they had the ring in this pit area right here, and then so they had some seats up here on the stage, and then they had a whole bunch of people over there too. Let me see if I can try to pull up some more. That guy was cool as hell. His name's Ben. I'm gonna get him to come on the show. He played college basketball at Vermont, I think. But so here you can see right here. So like this is the new Two Dimes venue if you haven't been there. It was Druid City Music Hall. But so you see the ring where I'm circling. So it's like a pit area. So here's a big stage. So obviously when they have performers and stuff, my brother's DJ and all that, he's up here. A lot of people normally fill in here in the pit. And you've got this area. You got, I forgot what these things are called, but you got like these little balcony areas. And then there's another balcony area back here. But I mean, but it was a really solid turnout for the first time doing something like that. But I think you you can't really see it well in this. Hold on. But I do think, like, you could, I mean, shoot, you see the ring right there. Boxing would be dope, man. Because you could fill that whole thing with seats, more seats. I mean, boxing would be cool for sure. I think they had some actual clips and stuff. There's Joe. Shout out, Joe.
We'll see the two UALOs go head-to-head later on in the evening. But to start,
I know we don't have a lot of time. Hold on, let's see. And quality's not great. I do know they have midget wrestling coming up, though, by the way.
Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Pastor Payne coming on today? I don't know. I mean, he said I think he said he was planning on coming on Friday, so I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. We will see.
$5104 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low.
AC, man, yeah. Hey, honestly, it hasn't been that bad. Mike, I didn't forget about you. I'm gonna text you after the show and see what we can kind of come up with, man. So be on the lookout for that, brother. We're glad you made it, man. In the meantime, man, I'm sure it's probably changed a bunch since you've been here. So explore.
274-5104. Again, 800-274-5104.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, we got our wrestling talk out of the way, so we'll move forward on with some football talk. Obviously, Alabama taking on Wisconsin tomorrow, 11 o'clock kick, looking to build off of what they did last week. And what was it that they did? Well, they put up 73 on a lesser opponent and held them scoreless, which is really good stuff. But most importantly, what they did that I was impressed with and that what I wanted to see was they played with an intensity that we all were hoping they would show up with. Now, does that carry forward? That's to be determined. We'll find out tomorrow. But again, like Coach DeBoer has been saying, man, one step at a time is the most important thing right here, 1 week at a time. And look, I'll say this, guys. I mean, you're looking at this Wisconsin team again. 2-0 on the season, hadn't really played anybody yet. Middle Tennessee, Miami of Ohio, clearly have some, question marks of their own. Starting quarterbacks out in this game. Definitely don't think it's a game you necessarily should overlook. I mean, even though I feel very confident in this game, I feel like we do, respond again in the way that we need to. You just know, I mean, they got better players than last week, but I wouldn't be shocked if you just see some things from them, right? If you see some in these kind of games, Chase, I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where we saw the reverses on the tape from last week, right? Gimmicky type stuff could come up, but I think the most important thing is we got to continue to just focus on ourselves and play the way that, look, we came out and played last week, right? And then just looking at, the backup quarterback situation, guy that might be a little bit more mobile than the other guy, but I think really, man, getting after him is important. I still just want to see that pass rush, and I think there will be opportunities in this game. And the reason I think that is, even though this team wants to run the ball, and I feel like they will try to establish their running game, of course, like everybody does, but that's literally what they want to do. I just feel like personally, if they struggle to run the football on Miami of Ohio and in Middle Tennessee, right, I just truly believe there's definitely not going to be a great chance of them running the football on us, which is going to then make them a little more one-dimensional and try to open things up, which we've seen they like to throw the football when they can. That, and then we saw the reverse type stuff. That being said, I think we'll have some opportunities in this game, even though, you look at their offense, you expect more of a run first type deal. I think there will be opportunities to get after the quarterback, and I just want to see us step up. Like, that is my biggest challenge for this defense in this game, other than build off of the intensity that we played with last week. And I know some people I've heard say things like, oh, man, like people are making too much of the one sack, or too many people are making too much. But it's like, it's not the number. It's just the fact that we have to generate more pressure. We have to affect the quarterback. And this is going to be a good opportunity, right? I mean, I think there will be moments in this game to really get after. Now, obviously, you got to, earn the right to rush is what we used to always say, stop the run first, which I think we should be able to do, right? But when we do get those opportunities to get after the quarterback, I want to see us make the most. I want to see who's going to step up, right? I want to see Yonze Pierre to build off of what he's, showed at least last week, showed a little bit more. Because I think down the stretch, guys, I really believe he's going to be one of the most important people. Like, you look at Quay Russaw, I know you got LT Overton, you got well, really, I mean, I don't really know who else you really got that's, James Smith on the interior, but Jordan Renaud is a guy that I feel like has potential, but I feel like either, Renaud or even, but more so even Yonze, man. I think down the stretch, those guys are going to be key because we need them to step up, right? It's not like you just go get somebody right now. Those guys are going to have to take that next step and help out in that pass rush. And I think that would help this defense tremendously if they can do that. And I think they'll have an opportunity in this game. But we'll see how much. I could be wrong. I know they got the backup in there. But again, he played last week a lot against Middle Tennessee and threw the ball a good bit. Again, the running game has struggled. So we'll have to see. But let's do this. Let's take our time out. We come back. We'll go to the phone lines. We'll continue breaking this down. I know we got Tommy and others lined up. So we'll go to you guys. That way we can say my stuff a little bit later. All right, here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. Be right back. Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393-9149 for your free estimate today. That's 205-393-9149. Asphalt Restoration, where smooth roads start. Roll Tide.
Tuscaloosa Dodge, Tuscaloosa Mazda, and Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa have teamed up to bring you the biggest selection of quality pre-owned vehicles anywhere. And if we don't have it, we'll get it for you. We stand behind every vehicle we sell. And now you can even get your deal online. Choose your down payment. Choose your payment. It's that simple. Visit us online today. Tuscaloosa Dodge, Mazda, and Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa. 3 great dealerships. One promise. Your car your way. In Tuscaloosa today.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama,
we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world.
We're here for the rookies and the dreamers,
trying to make a name for themselves.
We're here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer.
We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next generation of legends.
We are here for you,
aggressively pursuing
victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Get your football weekend started early with Fridays at the Free. I'm Gary Harris, and I'll broadcast my show live from Innisfree Irish Pub every Alabama game weekend from 9 to 11 a.m. on Friday mornings. So we'll get the jump on everybody else, and you'll be ready to start the weekend as soon as Innisfree opens at 11 a.m. With 2 bars, TVs everywhere, and outdoor seating as well, there's only one Innisfree Irish Pub. Often imitated but never duplicated. Fridays at the Free with me, Gary Harris, this fall at Innisfree Irish Pub, 1925 University Boulevard in Tuscaloosa.
Wait, Chase, did I just hear that correctly? I've never heard that ad. Did I just hear that right? Wait. Oh, man, wait. I'm so confused. Oh, brother. Maybe I didn't hear that right.
And save big, it's time to seize the deal. Your ultimate hookup for unbeatable half-price deals on your favorite local restaurants. That's right, mouth-watering meals like the best Mexican food, delicious pizzas, irresistible wings, incredible barbecue, and so much more, all for half the price. Whether it's date night, family dinner, or just because, Seize the Deal lets you eat big without breaking the bank. These deals won't last forever. Visit seizethedeal.com/cities/Tuscaloosa.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel, a specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping, and...
What we got in here? Slow. It's a little quiet today. Who's in here? Joey, what's up? Just want to see a mindset of domination no matter who the opponent is. Absolutely.
Confident in each other. I know they're going to do the right things, and I know that they have confidence in me to do my thing to get them the ball. So I'd say the confidence is or whatever that I have been practicing with the ones, and yeah, I'm excited to prove what all the hard work that we have put in together on a big stage.
You're talking about playing 4 full quarters. Hasn't seemed like that's happened yet. What do you think has kind of been the biggest holdup?
We just have to figure it out. And for 4 full,
you connected with Lance for a couple of explosives. Just how much
they did enough outside that I am to just go out there and play with them and see what the playmakers can do.
When you watch what Florida State did to Alabama in week 1, was there anything you took away that you can apply for yourself going into the match? When you watch.
And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, we're about to go to the phone lines first. Here's a quick little snippet of Wisconsin's quarterback, Danny O'Neal, who is expected to be their starter this week with their original starter out for this game. So this was him answering a question about if anything that stood out from the Florida State loss that he's going to use going into this game.
When you watch what Florida State did to Alabama in week 1, was there anything you took away that you can apply for yourself going into the matchup?
They ran the ball really well. They did a lot of good things in the running game, so just being able to try and emulate that. Their quarterback did a lot of good things with his feet too, so just trying to maybe extend plays with my legs or just checking the play, checking our runs to what we want to see and to what we want to run into. That's definitely something that I'm going to take great pride in this week.
So there you go. So, in terms of, look, football is a copycat sport. People are always watching to see what had success, what works. So no shocker there. But this guy does have a little bit more of an athletic ability. Makes you wonder, what they might try to throw in. Because, again, Wisconsin knows if they just try to line up and beat Alabama just straight up, it's not going to happen. But I do believe, again, they want to run the ball. They're definitely going to try it. Haven't done it well, but maybe they, like he just said, get to it a certain way. Maybe they change how they get to those runs or what those runs might look like. Because obviously they, like I mentioned initially a couple of days ago, they're going to look at what Florida State did, what they do, have 230 yards on the ground. They're going to try to get to that. I just don't think they're going to have success like that. I could be wrong. If they might change their whole running game and find a way to be successful. But personally, I think they're going to struggle unless they implement some new stuff. And that's why I think they might end up in a situation where they're throwing the ball a good bit and we do have a chance. Or at least even later in the game, right? Like maybe the first half you see them running a good bit. Maybe they start playing from behind because we're putting up a good number of points. And then that comes up, which I definitely could see that. Maybe first half, a little bit more run heavy for them. Second half, they really start airing it out. Personally, that's really kind of how I see it going. But I'll dive a little bit more into that here in a little bit. But let's go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got Tommy up first. Tommy, welcome in. Tommy, you with us? Going once, twice. All right, we'll circle back. Tommy might have had to drop, but we'll get him back on there. We got Wayne up next. Wayne, welcome in. Wayne, you there? Did they both drop, guys? Okay. It looks like they both dropped. Well, that's interesting. I feel like I heard a phone sound. All right. No worries. Well, guys, if you want to circle back, you guys know the drill. 205-342-9904. Check Reed or Chase, whoever's behind the glass. Check to see if there's a problem with the phone lines. That's weird if they both just happen to drop like that. That'd be kind of weird. But we'll get back on that in a second. But we'll get back to this interview for a minute.
Of your second college football season, could you have imagined playing in such a high-profile game kind of at this stage of your career? Has that kind of set in yet for you?
I honestly haven't thought about it that way. I'm just, taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and I've been very blessed to be able to play a lot so far in my career, and just being able to go out there and try and get better every single week and prove myself. I know that all the guys on offense and the whole team, really, we have a chip on our shoulder from we hear the noise. We try and block it out as much as we can, but we hear it. So just being able to go out there and prove ourselves right, that we work just as hard as anyone else, if not harder, and we're excited for our opportunity to show that.
Where do you?
I'm just kind of confused when he says we hear the noise. Of course you're gonna be an underdog, man. I don't know why he's acting surprised, but I don't know. Maybe they're trying to take that approach, but we'll see.
Hear the noise. Is it social media? Is it strangers at the restaurant? Is it friends and family? Where does that come in? Where does that break your bubble?
I deleted a lot of my social media. I did the same thing last year. I try and not hear or see as much as I can. But it's hard to completely get away. There's always someone saying something or something that'll pop up on my phone, and I see it, and I don't try to, but when I do see it, it gets me a little fired up. It gives me a little bit more motivation to come into work every single day and to give it my all.
So a little bit of that's a good thing. It can be a good thing.
I think so.
Is there any one of those slights that have kind of really stuck with you this week?
Not that I'm going to share, no.
Was it from any of us?
I don't think so.
You talk about making checks at the line. That's a freedom that maybe not every college system or college quarterback gets. Just how impactful has it been the first 2 weeks here to be able to check out in and out of plays and kind of get to the look you want to?
Yeah, I think it's been very beneficial. At the end of the day, we should be able to run against any look we see. We're the University of Wisconsin, so that's kind of who we are. But if we can get any advantage that we can, that's going to be great, and it's going to help our guys up front. So yeah, it is an advantage to us, but I think we have to take on the mentality also that we should be able to run the ball against anybody and whatever we see. So.
Kind of what do you remember from that game that you were watching on TV a year ago?
I know this was the game that Tyler went down. I remember that. I remember it was close early. I think they scored right before halftime. I want to say that. And then, just being able to play 4 full quarters this year is going to be huge for us. Starting off hot, being able to, get the game all the way to the fourth quarter, make it close, and then just, do our thing at the end of the game to do whatever we need to come out there with a W.
Oops, hold on. Quick little ad break. And we're back.
Coach Fickle was talking about on Monday, just the adapting to the crowd noise there. It's just a different environment than you're going to see many other places. What's your experience like with that? Like how either high school to now college, how have you dealt with loud situations as a quarterback?
Well, last year, any loud situation, we were a clap cadence, so really didn't have too much of an effect on our operation. But now we have a few things that we've been working on, the silent cadences, stuff like that. So just being able to go out there and execute that at a high level, and I know we will. We're putting a lot of stress on it, so I know that the guys are gonna do their best to make that as perfect as it can be on Saturday, and just looking forward to the environment. I love going on the road, going to a hostile environment and playing. I feel like that's a big stage, probably one of the biggest in college football. So just being able to go there and line up our 11 versus their 11, I'm excited to see what happens.
Danny, after the game, you mentioned how you're having meetings with the O-line and things like that ahead of the game. What's kind of like a weekly schedule for you? How much are you able to put into this with the different meetings that you have with different groups?
Yeah, I know. I'm thankful that I have some online classes, so my class schedule is pretty free. So just being able to, talk with the guys after practice, come here in the mornings before practice, extra film review with coaches, with players, everything that we've been able to do so far, last week, and I know that we're going to do again this week. It's definitely something that, plays to our advantage. The more that, we're comfortable with the game plan, that we're comfortable with knowing what we're seeing, knowing what we're going to get, I think that'll be an advantage to the Badgers come Saturday.
So there you have it. That was Wisconsin's quarterback, Danny O'Neal, who will be suiting up for them tomorrow. Again, their original starter will be out of the game, but a lot of questions about Alabama. Obviously coming here, everybody's always wondering how these guys take on that challenge, but he sounds confident. If you ask me, he sounds like he's confident, and I don't know if it's from watching the Florida State tape or just coming from within, but we'll see. Looking to be a good matchup. We got to hit a timeout. We come back. Going to listen to a quick little snippet from our friends over the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Roger Hoover had on, I think their play-by-play broadcaster Matt LePay with the Crimson Drive. So want to get his perspective on this matchup. Plus, we'll be joined by Reagan Starner of R&R Cigars here at noon as well with his smoking hot pick. So we'll get to that when we come back. Right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Coming up.
Let's see. Let me pull that here. All right. Agree. It sounds like he knows something we don't. Yeah, I think it's just, a lot of people are going to always sound confident, but I think if I'm being honest with you, to me, it just kind of further, not necessarily proves, but just furthers the point of, I don't think people really fear the Alabama matchup like they once did. I think they look at it as an opportunity. I just was kind of confused how he just kept saying it like, seeing the external noise. I'm like, normally that's about like the bigger opponent or something. I feel like, I don't know. I just don't know why he would be shocked that they're not favored. That doesn't make sense to me. Dude, y'all struggled against like Middle Tennessee. You know what I mean? Like, now watch me talk like this and watch them come down here and watch them play us much better than expected. Which I do think. I think at least the first half, I do think it could be a pretty good game. If anything, I think defensively, I think they're gonna put some stuff out there for us, and we're gonna have to respond to it. But I personally, I think we end up going through the air a little bit more this game. Personally, after setting up the running game, but I do think you see similar. Like last week, I thought the play calling was really good last week offensively. Where can you find me on game day? Really depends, man. Sometimes on the field, sometimes in the press box. If you're talking about like before, it depends. Normally I kind of just go straight to it now. But I know they have a bunch of like stuff in front of the stadium, so I could probably always like coordinate meeting up with you guys around that area or something like that. like on my way in. Walk of Champions, that's too congested, bro. I don't know about that. There's too many people over there. I'm saying they have like I forgot what it's called, like the like where all the tents and stuff are set up, and it might be before they do Walk of Champions. Are you in town too, Q06, or no? I thought you said Vanderbilt, right? Problem is this game being so early, man. All that stuff is like real early. But I mean, the good news is it'll be less crowded, probably. And welcome back into this Free For All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We got plenty of time, so we're rolling with some of these clips from some other folks, right? Just heard from the quarterback of Wisconsin previewing the matchup. Now we're going to go over to the Crimson Drive with our my friends over at the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Roger Hoover interviewing Matt LePay, who is the play-by-play broadcaster for Wisconsin. So nice to get some other opinions on here, especially when it's a little bit slower, right? We had phone lines free up. So going to go to this real quick before we get to Reagan here at the top of the hour. So let's hear from play-by-play broadcaster Matt LePay of Wisconsin.
How's everything going up in Wisconsin?
It's going well. Good to talk to you again. Looking forward to catching up with you and Chris this weekend. And yeah, so far so good. They've won a couple games. I'm not going to say they've looked great doing it, but they have won their first couple games. So people are not going to say really happy, but they're somewhat happy right now.
Let's go back to week 3 last season when Alabama made the trip to Madison to take on the Badgers. Kind of after that ball game, what was next for Wisconsin? What the rest of the 2024 season look like?
Well, it was they really had bad luck with quarterbacks staying healthy. You know, that first drive when Tyler Van Dyke had the season-ending injury, it took a lot of air out of Wisconsin. It would be very hard to say that the outcome would have been any different had he stayed healthy. But 2 years ago, they lose their starter, Tanner Mordecai, for a chunk of the season. They've lost their starter at the first game this season. The backup has played well. But last year for Wisconsin, it was a disappointment. It was the first time since 2001 that the Badgers did not qualify for a bowl game. And they had a couple coulda, shouldas. You know, they were playing really well against Penn State, picked 6 turns a game around. They played really well against Oregon. Oregon probably had a below average performance by its standards, but it was a 3-point game. And then really toward the end of the season, you could just see the lack of depth, the lack of size up front. Wisconsin was being run on almost at will at times. And things just kind of went sideways, and they end up with a 5-7 record, which is very, very uncharacteristic. Now, the tradition doesn't match up with Alabama, but Wisconsin has had a very, very respected program for a long time. So that was a tough pill to swallow for people up here, just having a 5-win season.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app.
So with that, what was the offseason priority for Coach Fickell, first of all, with his staff, and then building the roster for 2025?
Well, he has a new offensive coordinator, and he actually made that change, dismissing Phil Longo after the Oregon game last November. And he hired Jeff Grimes, who's been multiple places, including a run at BYU. He was at Kansas last year, and now in his first year here. Veteran coach, really highly respected. And for Wisconsin fans, some of the stuff that they're doing looks similar to some of the better offenses, at least schematically, that they had when Paul Chryst was the offensive coordinator, and even some of the better offenses he had as a head coach. They want to be more physical. They want to have more of a commitment to the running game. The problem is the offensive line has been in flux. It's been an issue without doubt. Their projected starting left tackle had a season-ending injury during spring ball. They've already made some switches. The right tackle is now the left tackle. The left guard is now, the right guard is the right tackle, and they've really had to shuffle the deck. And I think everybody is seeing the growing pains. You always hear about you need continuity in the offensive line. Wisconsin doesn't have that right now. Hopefully it will develop as the season goes on, but running the football has not been great. You know, they got on the edges with receivers on end rounds, a little reverse action, but otherwise it's been a little bit of a tough go here so far.
So far, 2 games in, what stood out to you about the first 2 ball games you all have had at Camp Randall Stadium?
Yeah, defense has been better. Going back to your previous question, one of the things they really wanted to do was get bigger and have more depth on the interior of the defensive line. And they feel like they can go 6 deep inside. You guys like Ben Barton, JVR Suggs, transfer from LSU, and a couple of other transfers. They tried to use the portal to get some depth and to get some more 300-pounders, something they were lacking in up front. And on the edges, they've got a lot of different body types, but someone who's emerged, at least in the first 2 games, is Mason Riger. He's from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, but he's a transfer from Louisville. And couldn't play last year because of an injury, couldn't participate in spring ball here as he was continuing to rehab. But these first couple of games, he has been a factor. So they've been tougher to run on. But at the same time, you know, I'm pumping the brakes on that because they have not played teams that neither is a Power 4 team. Miami University had no returning starters from a year ago. Middle Tennessee is struggling. So things ramp up. You know, the schedule is a pretty aggressive one that Wisconsin's playing starting this weekend. So we'll see how the Badgers can hold up against some of the better teams running the football.
And back to the offensive side of the ball, again, there have been some injuries already affecting Wisconsin, but what can you tell us about the quarterback position, what we may see there coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the feeling is there's more talent overall at that position than there was a year ago, and I think maybe one of the bigger reasons is there's more experience. Danny O'Neill has stepped in. He had his first start as a Badger last week and was really efficient. He started at San Diego State last year. It was the first freshman to start an opening game for San Diego State since that program became an FBS school. And that goes back to, I guess, 1969, 1970, something like that. And he was pretty good out of San Diego State. He's not a big guy. He can run it when he needs to. You know, he's pretty good at making something out of nothing. You know, he's been, again, efficient throwing the ball. I'm not going to say he has a rocket arm, but he's been good. He's delivered the ball when the opportunity has been there. So, you know, how long Billy Edwards is going to be out remains to be seen. He was injured in the first half of their opening game against Miami of Ohio. But I think there's a growing comfort level that Danny O'Neill can keep things going here with this offense. He has the word swagger is overused, but here it goes. He has a little bit of that to him. Luke Fickell calls it athletic arrogance, and that's a compliment. He just has a belief in himself, and I think that becomes contagious with his teammates. So it's a pretty decent situation that they have at that position to have someone who's the backup, but who's been a starter. So he doesn't have that deer in the headlights. Certainly didn't have that in the first 2 games this season.
And then how about the Badgers on special teams?
Well, that's an area they've really wanted to ramp up. I think in today's game, it's harder and harder to get a lot of returns, either on kickoffs or on punts. Nathaniel Vakos he won a pretty good kicking battle with a young man named Gavin Lom, who's a Wisconsin native. Vakos has been in the program now. This is his 3rd year. He's transferred from Ohio University. Good strong leg. He had 3 field goals last year of 50+, including one against the Tide, one of the few highlights Wisconsin had in that game. So that area has been, I think, that they feel pretty good about that. The punter, Atticus Bertrams, and I'm not going to say he's been off to a great start yet, but he has a very strong leg. His numbers were really good last year, so they feel better there. But like as you know, I think as we talk, I don't know if Alabama's had a lot of return opportunities either. But they do feel like they have some guys, if the opportunity is there, if it's Tyrell Henry in the punt return game or Vinny Anthony in the kick return game, they have a couple of guys who could be pretty dangerous.
And for the Crimson Tide, up next after this ball game, the gauntlet of the SEC schedule begins. Some really tough matchups. I know the same can be said for Wisconsin in the Big Ten. Just kind of set the table for what's ahead after this meeting in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, there are a lot of folks out there, those who rate schedules, who have Wisconsin's at or near the top in terms of difficulty. They'll open up Big Ten play against Maryland, which has actually been off to a pretty good start in the first couple of weeks. They're not talked about a whole lot. But what everybody really looks at with Wisconsin is the month of October. They'll have a bye after Maryland, but their October schedule, they go to Michigan, they have home games against Iowa and Ohio State. Then they fly to Eugene, Oregon to play the Ducks, who doesn't look like they've dropped off from a team that won the Big Ten a year ago.
All right. So that was Matt LePay, play-by-play broadcaster for Wisconsin, talking with Roger Hoover with our friends over on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, previewing this matchup and a little bit more. So a lot of good information from him. So good deal. We're going to hit this top of the hour break because when we come back, we'll be joined by Reagan Starner of R&R Cigars for his smoking hot picks, and we'll take a look at several big college football matchups this weekend, including Alabama, Wisconsin, get his thoughts on the games and all that. When we come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
WTBC Tuscaloosa.
Has Alabama ruled anybody in or out? I think everything's still the same as of now for, being game time decisions. But if I'm being honest with you, I mean, I personally, I don't really see the point of, I forgot, was it Bryce that called in at the end yesterday? Was saying Jam needs to play. My thing is, man, if he doesn't have to play, I would just save him, because you got that. That's literally a whole another 2 weeks of, 2 total weeks, this week and next, of extra healing time, right? That way he's ready to roll come Georgia. I mean, if they feel like he's ready and they want to give him a few snaps just to kind of get his feet wet, kind of work him back in. At the end of the day, I mean, that's all on the athletic training staff. So, I mean, I expect them to, do whatever they feel is best. But in terms of Ryan Williams, he's expected to play. I think Jamarian Latham is still a game time decision. What's weird is there's not much detail on Danny Lewis. I mean, he was wearing a boot last week, but he's out. But so everybody that's out is out. So Danny and Jeremiah Beeman, obviously, they're out. And then Jamarian Latham and Jam and TK will all be game time decisions. That's according to Coach DeBoer. So if I had to pick, I would say, maybe Jamarian Latham playing, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't rush Tim or Jam unless you need them. Oh, Chase, can we dial Reagan, please? If you don't have his number, I'll send it to you, but I'm pretty sure you guys have it. Not to look ahead, but how do you see Bama matching up against Georgia in 2 weeks, man? That's a good question. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, man. Georgia's not the same Georgia. That being said, I mean, I think going on the road in Athens is not going to be easy by any means, but I think that game is going to come down to our front seven, really. I'm being honest with you. I know they got some good receivers, but I mean, with Gunnar Stockton, he's not really biggest threat through the air like that. I mean, obviously he can throw, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, I think running the ball is kind of what they want to do, especially I know they're going to watch that Florida State game. They're definitely going to try to mimic that, right? Maybe not necessarily the same, design with the quarterback design stuff, but they're going to look to run the football on us. So I think that game is going to really come down to how our front seven can perform in that matchup, honestly. But I think it'll be a good one for sure. I'll know more too, kind of seeing this Georgia-Tennessee game. This Georgia-Tennessee game will kind of show us really where Georgia's at, because Tennessee's looking pretty good right now. Jake Saban used to say, if you're ready to go, then play. Play them. If you're not, then don't play them. There are no snap counts. That's not true. We did have snap counts, depending on the situation. for example, like when I came back, I mean, I was on a snap count. It really just depends. But I do agree with your point, Justin. Like if you're ready to play, then you're ready to play, right? And that's it all. And again, it really boils down to the athletic training staff, right? Like first and foremost, are you cleared to play? That's the number one question, right? Is a guy cleared to play? Can he go out there and play without risking, doing harm to what is already done, right? And I'm not saying like from a pain standpoint. I'm saying literally like, is he cleared to play? If he's cleared to play, then yeah, I mean, he can roll. You can try. I know his phone's on do not disturb sometimes, so you can try one more time. If he doesn't answer, no worries. We'll just wait. But I will say this, Justin. I do know. I mean, sometimes it depends on what it is. Basically, if you're not 100%, then don't play that. Well, that's not true either. Because I mean, nobody's. I don't know if you played football, but at least at this level, man, nobody's really ever going to be like 100%. But if you're talking about from the injury, I mean, even then, like, if you're coming back from an injury, you're not like, especially if you're really trying to get back, you're not going to be like, for example, like when I tore my biceps, right? Like when I came back, I might have been 75, 80%. Like my arm was not 100% healthy, but I was at least cleared to play, meaning like it was secure enough where with the brace, I should be okay. And I had reached a level of strength where I should have been okay to play. Now, obviously, there's risks with everything. When these guys come back with high ankle sprains, I mean, they're not going to necessarily wait till they're 100%. Like, it's like, okay, it's healed enough to go out there. It's more about pain management. That's typically that's why I say it really kind of gets complicated. But at the end of the day, if they're clear to play where they're not going to risk, like the doctor's clear to play, and then it's on the pain management side, I mean,
national champ.
Really boils down to, I mean, what they can do, right? I mean, sometimes you got to think of it like this too. I mean, there's no point in playing somebody if they're 70, like you have a corner. You don't really want to play a corner like who say, okay, the doctor's cleared to play, but he's still running 80, you know what I'm saying? At 80%. I mean, it's probably not ideal, I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't really know what you mean. That's why I was answering like that. And welcome back into this Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Talking a little bit of Alabama, Wisconsin again tomorrow, 11 a.m. kick here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, looking to build off the momentum that they established last week against ULM. And we're about to build off of the momentum from hour number one with our good friend Reagan of R&R Cigars, getting his smoking hot picks here on the show for the first time this season. Good weekend for it, though, because a lot of good games in college football. Reagan, welcome in, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, can't complain, brother. Excited to talk some ball, man. Look, I'll be honest with you. I was looking at some of these games for this weekend. We got some good ones, bro. So I'm really curious to get your thoughts, and I guess we can go ahead and jump straight into it. Now, I'm just going to start with some heat, man. Somebody just brought them up. They're on the forefront of my mind. Georgia, number 6, Georgia travels on the road, Reagan, to face number 15, Tennessee. Both teams undefeated through 2 weeks of action. This afternoon game on ABC, but you know this place very well, just like I do. You travel there. You've spent a lot of time there. Rocky Top, man, it's a tough place to play. They've got a new quarterback in Joey Aguilar taking over for what's his name, who I guess was pursuing the bag and didn't really work out so well. But anyway, they look pretty good. I'll be honest with you. And I'm pretty sure.
It didn't work out for him very well, I would say. But I mean, well, maybe it did. I guess he got paid. So
well, and to be fair, he claims it wasn't about the bag. I think he claims it was more family motivated. Sure. But his
family needed the bag. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, fair enough. But look, Joey Aguilar, I'm pretty sure he set some type of record in one of these games. But anyway, they look pretty good. But we just know the challenge of playing at Tennessee, man. How do you see this game going? What are your thoughts on it? Let me see. Do you have the line in front of you? I think I think
I'm
Georgia's minus 3.5.
Georgia 3.5. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Georgia minus 3.5. It opened at 6.5. Now it's down to 3.5. So, I don't know. This one is tough because it's like both of them. You know, who have they played? Right. I want to give it to Georgia. I want to go with Georgia because, you know, I think Kirby Smart's just, and I need Tennessee to be bad. Like, let's be real. Like, I want Tennessee to be bad. I don't want any question about the victory cigars when it comes to, you know, third Saturday in October. I want them to be bad. But yeah, I think, look, I like Georgia here. It's Kirby. Kirby just doesn't lose a lot unless it's to Alabama. And I don't know. I'm just not going to buy into Tennessee based on a beating of Syracuse, man. So yeah, give me the dogs.
Really? Yeah, that's a tough one for me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a tough one for me, but you're right. It's hard to tell because so early in the season, nobody's really played anybody just yet, and so that's why I was just telling somebody because they're asking me about us facing Georgia, and I was like, man, I'll know more after this Tennessee game. It's just hard for me to say.
I think I'll know more about Alabama after Wisconsin too.
Fair enough. I think the ultimate litmus test for this Alabama team will be that Georgia game, at least for me. Wisconsin will tell me a little bit more. I agree, but Georgia, I want to see how we stack up.
Well, with the Wisconsin game, it's important for them to come out at least 2 weeks in a row, right? You know, can they keep was last week's game? You know, was it
because of ULM?
Was it just BTA after a loss, or is this the new mindset? So. We'll talk. I'm sure we're going to talk about the Alabama game in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we do that, though, I want to get your thoughts on this one. This looks to be an interesting matchup as well. You've got Notre Dame taking on Texas A&M, and I believe number 16 A&M will be traveling to number 8 Notre Dame, who is 0-1 right now. Notre Dame is a minus 6.5 favorite. Reagan, how you feeling about this one, man?
And man, I tell you what, early college football game weeks are no joke.
I'm telling you.
Because I mean, the schedule this weekend is actually pretty good. I mean, if you keep looking at who else playing, I mean, these are just the games that we're picking. I mean, you've got South Florida and Miami. Who would have thought that would have been a top 25 matchup? Florida LSU, and that's not a top 25 matchup. Texas A&M Notre Dame, Vandy South Carolina.
Even Clemson Georgia Tech could be interesting. I know a lot of people think Georgia Tech could be, and Clemson has to travel there.
So I like A&M in this one. I'm not bought into Notre Dame.
Really.
I think they had a great team last year. I still think that they have a great coach. But last year was a fluke for them. I think that's not going to be the standard. Losing to Miami last week, I still think that I don't think they'll make. I think they're going to lose again this week. So yeah, I like, and they're 6.5 point favorite. Give me the Aggies. It's time for the Aggies.
Dang, man. So you got Notre Dame starting out 0-2, bro. I mean, that's fair. I mean, you look at, Marcel Reed, who was banged up last week. I think he should be good to go, but I mean, obviously, probably won't be 100%. But the 2 games, I mean, he's got 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and this obviously is going to be the biggest challenge. So be interesting to see how he handles it. But yeah, it's going to be tough, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm leaning Notre Dame in this game, honestly. But I think it will be very competitive. And it is a rematch of last year's opener. So that will be fun. You mentioned USF Miami. I'm not going to lie. It's crazy that USF is on this run, but it makes you really tip your hat to I forgot the coach's name, but he came from Tennessee. Other thing is, Golish. I didn't realize he was I guess allegedly born in Russia. Kind of a random fact there. But anyway,
I did not know that.
yeah, and
But
it
it makes
maybe
sense with a name like Coleridge.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was about to say I just randomly saw that fact. But that being said, I mean, are you buying into the USF Kool-Aid, Reagan, or do you think they just kind of got a little lucky against Florida and they're going to kind of return to being a USF team? Because I mean, they're facing Miami at Miami. I mean, this will be a good challenge for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's a great coach. I mean, he's definitely had his teams ready to play in big moments. I mean, they whether it was the monsoon or I'm sorry, not the monsoon, but yeah, wasn't it the monsoon game versus Alabama? And then I mean, he's given Alabama a tough time.
Yeah, last year too when they came to Tuscaloosa. Now their quarterback does low key look like a baby Cam Newton. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Again, it's week one. It's week one, week two. Are these teams real? I don't know, but 17.5-point favorites against the team that just beat Florida is that's rough. So I like South Florida to cover. I don't know about win, but I think it'll be closer to 17.5.
Fair. That's fair. Let me ask you this real quick before we get to Alabama, Wisconsin. And I know we mentioned it briefly, but Florida at LSU. Now LSU is number 3 in the country right now after beating Clemson to open things up. LSU's only a minus 7.5 favorite in this game. Again, Florida coming off that loss to USF, man. How do you feel about this one? And it is a nighttime game in Baton Rouge, so obviously that's going to be quite the challenge for Florida.
Yeah, I don't. There's one thing that I think I really do feel certain about, and that's Florida's not a good team. So yeah, I'm going to go with LSU in this one. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. LSU's at least one versus Clemson. So and I think that's a big win versus Clemson, even though Clemson played bad. They shut Klubnik down. And I just don't. I don't know. Florida just gives me Willie Taggart vibes when they, Billy Napier reminds me of Willie Taggart. Just,
dang.
I'm not a huge fan. So I like LSU at home.
Yeah, me too. No, I definitely do. All right, here's the big one, the big ticket of them all. You got Wisconsin traveling to number 19, Alabama, here in Tuscaloosa. That game kicks off at 11. Reagan, Alabama looking to continue their momentum from last week, beating ULM 73-0 here in Tuscaloosa, the first home game of the year. Obviously, the score, was huge, but I think that was something even greater was the intensity, the effort, the things that we didn't see in week one. Right now, I know Alabama is a big favorite in this game. It's like minus 20.5. But how do you see this game going, Reagan? I know I've heard some people think that Wisconsin might come down here and make it a little bit more of a challenge than some people expect. Again, with like such a big spread like that. Do you think Bama is able to ride that momentum from last week? Do you think they show up a little inconsistent? How do you see this one going?
I like Alabama, man. Roll Tide. We are. I mean, look, they think they looked great last week. They looked great last week. They look great now. They're just incredible. Last week. I don't know that. I don't know I don't know if you can play the perfect college football game, but I felt like that was pretty close. Everybody seemed to be doing their jobs and doing their jobs well. The balls from Ty and Keelan and Mac all looked great coming out of their hands, and the receivers were open. They're making making blocks. The defense was swarming. They were having big hits. They were forcing fumbles. Just all of the things that you want Alabama to do. They were running the football with power. All of that. So, yeah, it was a wonderful game. I hope that they're ready to go again this week, and I think they will be. And I think it was an important game for them to answer the doubters, answer the haters, and show that it wasn't just words, because a lot of people were like, I need to see it. I need to see it. I need to see it. Like these guys talk too much. Well, you know what? They talked and then they backed it up with their play on the field. So, it's, yeah, I like it. I like them to go. And I think I want them to go in there. And
So
I think that
you think Alabama covers, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah. Well, especially I think Wisconsin's not even having their starting quarterback. So I was already Alabama covers, and now I think it's Alabama blowout.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, this guy
I want to say 69-0, but I want
that would be quite the statement, right? 73-0 against ULM is one thing. You beat Wisconsin 69-0, your favorite score. That definitely would be quite the statement. We'll see. I mean, I definitely can see it going a number of ways, and I guess we'll find out early tomorrow. Reagan, that being said, man, tell everybody how they can watch it with you guys, right? Or even if they want to come in today, tonight. I know a lot of people are coming into town with it being an early game. Obviously, I'm well familiar with the Mansion, but tell all the folks listening, man, if they want to go check it out. Again, 2703 Gary Fitz Street right there in that downtown area. And tell them what you guys got to offer. I'm sure you guys got some good specials and stuff going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, man, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got the $5 golden hammers. We've got everything. We've got so many bourbons. We have so many things going on. We don't have the Canelo fight. I'm really sorry. They wanted $1,500 for us to show the Canelo fight.
Wait, but hold on. It's on Netflix, though. You can't get away with that? Just put it on one TV?
Yeah. No, they don't. That's yeah.
Oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that on air. You could have accidentally been watching it, and people could have just
No, we don't. No, we don't do that. No, for us to show it at the bar would have been $1,500. We called the check. Like the UFC fights are like $900. And so yeah, we have the Canelo. We don't have the Canelo fight, but we have the UFC media or the UFC Noche. I think is that media Noche. I don't know. Maybe it's just UFC Noche.
Noche.
We've got that going on.
Midnight in Spanish, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know it's Noche something. Noche de Fido. I don't know.
Okay.
But we've got that, and obviously huge slate of games. We've got the NFL Sunday Ticket, $5 cocktails. We got a really cool special on Drew Estate cigars. You buy 20 of them, you get 20% off, plus free stuff. And yeah, it's a big weekend. It's a big home game. So come down to the Mansion, and we'll see you there.
Absolutely. And to show the Bama game, they're not running your pockets like that. So guys, if you want to find a place to watch the game, if you're not going in it, they will be showing that on all the TVs there. So that's good news about, I guess, football, man. They don't try to run y'all's spot. I still can't get over that. I mean, what if you just happen to, I don't know. I mean, you guys are a Mansion. Maybe you could just, I don't know, just say, oh no, it's just a little family watch party, just with a couple more people. I don't know. Let me not get you in trouble on the air. Oh man, Reagan, I appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Can't wait to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, man. Reagan Starner of R&R Cigars. Big thanks to him with his smoking hot picks, man. But you heard them. They'll be playing UFC again. I can't remember it. I have to look it up exactly what event it is. But I forgot, Chase, that Canelo fight is on. Good news is everybody has Netflix on their phones nowadays, so you can always just pull it up on your phone or iPad if you really want to while you hang out at the Mansion, which is really cool. I definitely would urge you guys to do that. All right, we got to hit a timeout when we come back. we'll keep on rolling. We got some folks on the phone lines to get y'all's predictions. Again, we are taking predictions. It's Prediction Friday. And if you get that right, man, you definitely get a chance to win some really cool stuff. So make sure you guys get in on that action. Right here on the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Justin thinks Bama's going to cover. Yeah, I think they will too. I think first half could be a little close, and then second half we kind of pull away, start getting after it. It's just kind of hard. Again, like Reagan said, like I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Like early in the season, it's so hard when you haven't really seen these teams play anybody. That's why I'm not even like concrete on, like Florida State. Like again, I know I really didn't know much, but one thing I did know is I played against Gus Malzahn. I know the challenges that he presents, and I know when he's paired up with a guy like that, it presents problems. Like so, I felt confident about that based off my experience, and just kind of how we had been playing. And I feel like I hit the nail on the head with that one. Other than saying I still thought we were going to win. But this game's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I mean, watching Wisconsin again, the two teams they played hadn't really been anybody. Defensively, they've looked pretty good. I mean, they're not like doing anything that's like blowing me away, but they've looked solid. But it's like the two teams they played. I mean, you're not proving anything. So I don't know. Then you bring in this quarterback who played last week. Let me see what his final numbers are. I mean, he was solid. I'm pretty sure he was probably like 75% or so. He had that pick, but a little bit more of an athlete than the other guy. I just still I don't know. I definitely think we cover. But I could see them pulling out some reverse stuff, some crap like that, making a couple plays here and there. But yeah, he was 23 or 27 for 283, 3 touchdowns, getting his first start when they ended up pulling away. Again, the first half, though, I think they went in halftime like 14-10 or something like that. And then the week 1 game, I think they won like 17-0, right? So against Miami of Ohio. But yeah, I think we covered. Like I said, I think first half could be a little bit of a game, and then second half we kind of start pulling away. But I feel like Ty's gonna have a big game, though. I personally do. I mean, hopefully, if the line holds up well, I could see that being an issue. If we're not protecting well, I could see some negative plays happening and making it closer than it really should be. Something tells me that it's going to be the case. There's going to be a couple of those plays in this game. Backup's better than the starter, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't really – I mean, again, I watched most of that Middle Tennessee game, some of the first game, but the backup obviously does seem pretty decent, the numbers he put up versus, I mean, the starter. I mean, you win 17-0 over Miami of Ohio. I agree with you, Justin. Georgia loses and comes back ticked off to play Alabama. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like Tennessee has a good chance in this game, guys. I feel like us, Kirby, right? I mean, obviously that's what we were, right, with Coach. I feel like we always are challenged by Tennessee offenses. Roll Tide, Dr. Chris, what's going on? Excited to bring your son to his first game tomorrow. Nice. Dang, it's his first one, man. That'll be exciting. And I met your son over. It was at Buffalo's when we were doing the show there. I'm pretty sure I met him over there, right? I think I did at least. Bama buy anything. I agree, Mike. Absolutely. People must be out and about. It's definitely a slower day today. once we get back doing our live stuff, should be back probably having some stuff set up for you guys to be able to come hang out. I know a lot of people keep asking about that. What's the first SEC game? Who do we play after Georgia? Should be good to go with that. Just been having to iron out a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, unfortunately out of my control. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Let's go to the phone lines. We got Tommy up first. Hopefully, I think he's good to go this time. Tommy, you with us?
Hey, man, how are you? Sorry about the other thing. Something came up. I had to take
No, you're fine, brother. You're fine, man. No, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't our phone lines because you and the other call that we had both, had dropped. So no, I just want to make sure it wasn't us. What's going on, Tommy? How are you this Friday?
I'm good. How are you? I mean, I'm looking forward tomorrow to the game, and Alabama need to just bring it to Wisconsin. No right up.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Word, no mercy.
That's right.
No mercy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, look, I mean, the biggest thing is to take that next step, right? We took a step last week, even though it was ULM, me and my dad talked about it. And we're very honest on this show. So if we're saying we were pleased with it, that we're not just saying that. So that means something. I think the biggest thing is building off of that. You got a chance to do that against when I say quality opponent, I mean, again, I don't really think this Wisconsin team is going to be in the top 25 or anything at the end of the year. But I do think, look, they've got better players. They've, addressed some needs in the portal. And I think if you have a nice showing against a Wisconsin football team, right, who's not a ULM, I think that's the next step necessary. I think that builds even more confidence going into this bye week before you really get down and dirty and you have to go on the road to Athens. So that's my goal out of this game. Kind of similar to what we talked about last week, Tommy, just playing your game, faceless opponents, doesn't matter who it is. Just know these guys are going to be better than the guys last week. But you should have that same mentality check last week, right? And that's probably my biggest question mark, Tommy, is, right, do they feel like, all right, we went out, not necessarily, okay, we avenged ourselves for that week one game, right? Now we just kind of go back to, not saying it's showing up how they showed up against week one, but just kind of going back into a groove? Or do you say, no, we need to have that same fire that we had last week every week? If they can do that, man, and then channel it that away, I think this team would definitely get back on track.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to see great quarterbacks ever win.
Mm-hmm.
From LSU, Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. There's really no off week with quarterbacks. So, we just need our defensive line need to bring the heat. And get some sacks and keep the quarterback in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, bring it. All right, my score will be 24-16.
Wait, you said 24-16?
No, 34.
Oh, 34. Okay, I was about to say, that sounds a little close, Tommy. 34-16. All right. So 16.
No. Wow. I took the number pops up in my head. I mean, I hear voices, but don't tell nobody.
Oh, yeah, no.
Don't tell you that. Don't tell you that.
Wait, so 16, though. Tell me how you get in that 16. So that would be 2 touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions, or how you getting that 16? Just came to you?
3 field goals.
Or 2 touchdowns and a safety.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I just was curious. I didn't know if you had anything specific, or it just came to you. Good enough, though. 34-16. Does that have That's just shy of covering. So the
Yeah.
bettors probably wouldn't be too happy with that one, Tommy. But a win is a win. So
That's all I want is a win.
that's all you want for
Yeah.
Christmas is an Alabama win, man. Tommy, we appreciate you, brother.
All right, buddy. Have a great weekend. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yes, sir. You do the same, man. Good deal. All right, let's keep on rolling. We got Ram up next. Ram, welcome in.
Hey, Christian, you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We got you, Ram. What's up?
Oh, I'm at the park as usual. Just a quick note. The reason I always say something about the dogs, I'm a dog person. I love my dogs. That's why I say that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I said absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, the dog people are the best people, man. If you're a cat person, I'm a little scared of you.
Well, you know what my granddaddy told me?
What's that?
He said, don't trust a person that doesn't like dogs.
There you go. See, that's a better way of putting it. That's how I should have put it. No disrespect to the cat folks out there.
But, Christian, a question before I give you my score.
Okay.
You touched on it yesterday about someone asked about putting a spy on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And you said you said you gotta have the man. You gotta have somebody with speed.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, what's the other option on that?
You just got to just work games and things to try to contain them or really kind of change the philosophy about the rush. I mean, really maintaining the integrity of your pass rush lanes is another way of just trying to really contain the quarterback, especially one that's mobile. I mean, know that the guys that have contained, they need to keep contained, right? They can't get caught inside, cheating inside. They got to, maintain that structure of collapse in the pocket. But I mean, look, every team should have at least somebody. I'm not saying we don't have anybody. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to. Like Quay Russaw. I mean, he allegedly is really fast. I mean, he probably could do it, but I just don't think we have a lot of those guys. Like, we've always just naturally just had somebody, even if it was an inside backer. I mean, and maybe you could. I mean, you could use a guy like Justin Jefferson to be the spy if you needed to. It's just if you're using somebody like that, you just have to have somebody else to fill in the other spot. Because if he's spying, you get what I'm saying, and it's a nickel look.
Yeah.
Technically, that'd be like using him as an edge guy, so to speak. So you bring in another backer. So you just got to make sure you have the other personnel, which technically, I guess they could do something like that. But those are kind of your two options. Find somebody, whether it be maybe an inside backer that could also do it, or just try to really just emphasize, when you're running games or just rushing in general. You just have to have really good, rush lanes and integrity of maintaining that pocket, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know how fleet of foot this young man is we're facing, but I was just curious about that particular thing. And the line has got me a little worried, but I'm going to go with it. 38 to 13, Christian.
I like it. I mean, that's kind of probably my ballpark, 38-13. That's fair. I mean, that's definitely beating the whatever it's called. I got to get better with these betting terms, man. Beating the spread? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Yeah.
Beating the spread or covering. I think that's what they are. They say covering. That
yeah, covering. Yeah.
There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm getting better. Sorry, guys. I promise. I've just never been a big bettor, so I'm not great with that. Yeah, no, I like it, Ram. I like it. No, I think that's fair.
Okay, great. I hope my wife's listening to me about the betting thing. So.
Yeah, don't get in trouble on the show. Don't get in trouble.
I'm not. All right, roll tide. Watch those dogs.
Yes, sir. That's right. Appreciate that, Ram. Good deal. All right, so Tommy was 34-16. Ram was 38-13. Let me make sure I remember those two numbers. Chase, Reed, you guys have y'all score predictions?
I'm going to roll. LOL. I'm going to roll with the tide in this one. I'm going to go 42-13. I think Bama will pull away in the second half. I think Wisconsin's going to be like, we want to get out of here. We want to leave Tuscaloosa. We're going to go back and regroup.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go. Let's see, and we still got time in the rest of the show. I just want to leave some space just in case anybody else wants to hop on here for that last segment that we're about to hit. Man, I'm trying to think. Let me envision this. I like envisioning things, right? Kind of how I see it going. I do see it being a little closer in the first half. Us kind of pulling away. I do see us having some explosive plays down the field, leading to some good scoring opportunities, right? I'll even go as far as to this. Dude, I feel like I think Ryan Williams responds in this game. I just know, like, as a competitor, man, having a bad game, like, is one of the best motivators. Like, seriously, especially if you're the type of competitor that's, like, really driven from within, like, you're like a biggest critic. I could just see Ryan having a big game, man. And I think Ty builds out the confidence that that's what I feel like. And again, I know we need to establish our running game, and I hope we do that. I hope we run the ball first and foremost. I hope it's similar to what we saw last week. Running the football, getting those short, easy rhythm throws for Ty to get in his groove, but then letting him spin it when he has the opportunity, man. I know Wisconsin has some senior presence in their secondary. One of their better players on defense is one of their safeties, but I still just think we have too much horsepower with our guys on the outside. That being said, I do see us putting up some points. I see it probably, but see, Wisconsin in defense has looked decent, but they haven't played anybody, so I just don't know if they're legit or not. But I'm gonna bank on it, regardless even if they were. I'm gonna bank on our guys. I'll put us in. You said 42, Chase. I'm trying to think. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 5 touchdowns. Man, I'm gonna go 38. I'm gonna give us 5 touchdowns and a field goal. I just don't. I don't know how many field goals. I don't. I'm not saying we. I'm not saying we don't trust our kicker, but I don't know. I'm gonna go 38. I'm gonna go 38-13. I'm gonna go 38-13. I wouldn't be shocked if they look. I mean, they're probably gonna score here or there, maybe a couple field goals. I'll give them a touchdown and 2 field goals. I'm gonna go 38-13. That's my number. Which wait, is that exactly what Ram just had? Wait. It doesn't matter. I came up with that just thinking of my process. So I'm going 38-13, which if you are betting, that does cover it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is what Ram had. So maybe Ram just influenced me, but I'm going 5 touchdowns and a field goal. Them having 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. I don't know. That's how I'm playing it out in my head. We're going with it. Looking at our chat, 45-17 from LK. Wisconsin getting a late TD. Fair. That's a good way to put it, too. I can see that. Maybe for my 13, them having 2 field goals and late in the game scoring. Dr. Crystal has 42-10. I dig it. Something tells me, I feel like somebody's going to hit the score prediction this week.
Christian, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be 35-17 Bama. Watch it.
35-17 Bama. All right, we got Reed there. 35-17. Phil's got 40-18. Some of these numbers, guys, I'm just curious. How do y'all come up with them, though? Like 18. That's an interesting one. 49-7. Bama rolls. Justin's feeling confident. But 18. Let's break that one down because Tommy said 16. That's either 2 touchdowns with 2 2-point conversions or 2 touchdowns, PATs, and then a safety. But 18. That's an interesting number, guys. I'm trying to think. I mean, off rip, 2 touchdowns with 2 2-point conversions and a safety. You could get 18. Chase Reed, y'all got any other way to get to 18? Phil's laughing.
Maybe 6 field goals.
Oh, yeah, bet. Duh. Thank you, Reed. 6 field goals. There you go. Or a touchdown. Missed the PAT. That would be 6. A regular field goal, that's 9. Wait, where am I going with this? Another regular field goal, that's 12. Or I guess 4 field goals and a touchdown with the missed PAT. That would be kind of crazy. I don't know. All right, let's do this. Let's hit our timeout before we come back and really put a bow on everything, give our predictions. And if you guys want to throw this in here, because we used to do this all the time, MVPs of the game. Give me an offensive MVP and a defensive MVP. I think that would be a good one. We'll do that when we come back on the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store. America's art sport experts. Will be right back.
Your flagship.
No TDs, says Phil. All right, we'll see. No TDs. Yeah, I think our defense is going to play good in this game too, though. But I think they'll probably have an explosive here or there. I mean, every team finds a way, at least a decent team. I don't know, man. I'm just leaning in the direction I think we'll play a really solid game. But it's like history shows our inconsistencies, bro. I'm like, damn, I don't even like people call me asking like betting stuff. I'm like, bro, don't ask me none of that. All right, good deal. We got 2 more calls. We'll wrap things up with that too. 16 is 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. Wow. I'm mad that that didn't even cross my mind. Ryan, thank you, bro. Yeah, I mean 7, right? 10, 13, 16. Wow. 56-10. Damn, Carlos. Damn. Bro, how did I not think of 16? I just don't think I've ever really seen 16 a whole bunch. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to. Not even worth it. Trying to think back. All right. Let's see. Yeah, 56-10. That'd be a statement for sure. Oh, if you guys haven't, man, drop a like. That always helps us out. We appreciate it, man. Sorry it's been a slower day, man. Again, I'll make sure we get more guests and stuff, too. I thought my dad was hopping. He said he was going to plan on coming on Friday, so I just plan on that. But he might have got caught up doing something. But I'll make sure we do that. It's a little bit slower today. Maybe people are traveling. I don't know. Not sure. What was I about to pull up? I feel like I was said 77-3. Oh dang, yeah, you were close, bro. Oh, that is a loud commercial.
Yeah, so I had a slant route, caught the ball, and just football got hit on my side, just dinged up. Like I said,
Feel better in this past game.
Yes, sir.
After a week kind of taking it on the chin from the national media and everybody around, how good was it to go out there and just beat that team like you did last week?
That's the standard here at Alabama. That's what we're supposed to do. It felt good. We practiced really hard, me and my guys. The coaches, they came up with a great game plan, and we executed.
You hear a lot about ignore the noise. How much of it do you guys hear? How much does it fuel you? Does it tick you off at all?
Yeah, we don't hear much about it. We stand on, we're a big 1-0 team, and we're a big ignore the noise team. So, we try not to pay attention to it. We try to come out every day and just go 1-0.
This team didn't really have a receiver your size last year. When they were recruiting you, did they talk to you about that, about being that missing element, and how did that go?
Yeah, for sure. They talked about it, and just they wanted me to come here and be me. That big explosive downfield threat. I can do it, intermediate routes, deep routes, whatever, and just be a great teammate.
The comparison with Rome Odunze, just coming from this system, do you kind of see yourself in that role, and do you compare yourself at all a little bit to him, in terms of do you find similarities in your own game?
Yeah, Rome's a great player. I would say I can model my game after him. Absolutely.
Do you feel like over the course of the first 2 games that that pitch has kind of showed up, in terms of what you're expected to do on the field and kind of the production that you've been able to do?
Yeah, it's like we just said earlier. I was kind of dinged up the first game, so kind of threw up the game plan a little bit. Second game, did what we had to do, and now we're just focused on the next game.
What's kind of, I guess, how does Ty see you in your role as a receiver, in the role that you're supposed to, I guess, play in the passing game, deep ball, things like that?
Yeah, that big guy to go up and get it,
Yeah.
Whenever it's time to bail out, stay down there somewhere. He'll make a play for me, Zach. I'll make that.
What's been your adjustment coming from Miami? Now you're here at Alabama. Has it taken you a while to kind of get used to your surroundings?
And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of Miller's Edge, Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. And don't forget about our friends over at Asphalt Restoration. Again, all your pavement asphalt needs, man. Make sure you guys check them out. New partner here on the Miller's Edge. Big thanks to those guys there. All right, let's go back to the phone lines and wrap things up. Again, we've been doing score predictions. I just threw mine out there. 38-10 is what I'm – no, I said 38-13. I'm sorry. Is what I'm going with. And we'll see, man. See if you guys have some luck, man. I hope somebody wins it because, again, I got to plan on getting some signed football, stuff like that over to you guys, whoever does finally hit. But, again, make sure you guys keep track of it because I've been doing the show. I'm not going to lie. If you dropped it in the stream, I think I should be able to just go back and look here, which is good. If you called in, I know Chase has been taking calls, Reed, right? So hopefully we can remember those. And I'll try to at least jot those down. For sure, once I get a pen in front of me, which moving forward, I will keep a pen with me at all times when we do these predictions. All right, back to the phone lines to go, 205-342-9904. We got Ellis up first. Ellis, welcome in.
What's up, Christian?
What's up, Ellis?
I don't know.
Wait, did you just say you don't know? I've never heard that one.
No, I didn't say I don't know. I know what's going on. I'm fixing to leave. I'm fixing to leave and head to Titletown here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. You know, you called yesterday, Ellis. I don't know if you knew you were on the phone lines, bro. You called, and then we answered. And I think you had
I was cleaning. The man come back, and I started talking to him, and I forgot. And I finally
No, you're
realized
fine. No, you're fine. It was the funniest thing. I was like, at first, I was like, I can't hear Ellis, man. Then I realized, I'm like, I don't even think he knows he's on the line right now.
He's an Auburn fan, so he was yakking, so I had to straighten him up.
Yeah, it makes sense. Fair enough.
Well, I'm
Fair
glad
enough.
they caught
What
that
you got
kid
for your score
today.
prediction, man?
They caught that guy.
Oh, we hadn't even talked about any of that politics. I mean, we're trying to lock in on football here. Ellis, tell me your score prediction.
48-17.
48-17?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it.
Ray Hubbard for defense and Jeremy Bernard for offense.
Yeah. Jeremy's been playing his tail off, man. Something just tells me Ryan's going to have a bounce back game, man. I feel like he's going to have a bounce back game. I just know he's a competitor. I know he's a competitor, man. And think about how the team responded after all the media. I mean, dude, AJ, there's a lot of people that had some comments for Ryan Williams, man. I mean, and I know that everybody talks about blocking out the noise, but look, man, I know he was hearing it. And I think he's going to respond the right way. I'm excited to see what he does.
Everybody has a bad game, Christian.
100%.
Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a bad game. They might have two bad games, but that young man's going to come back. He'll come back. He'll come back soon.
No, he definitely will. I like those.
Well,
And
he don't
break
wanna,
too.
he don't. Well, you're showing what you can do so you can so they'll pick you higher in the draft when you go to the draft. I don't believe players are just, well, I'm not going to play today, and I don't think that like most people do. You see on the social media, So yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back strong.
Yeah, and I hope so, man. I think there's a good chance for that. Well, Ellis, we're going to try to squeeze in Ragged real quick before we got to get out of here, man. We appreciate it. Be safe on that road, brother.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. All right, we got Ragged Glory up next. Ragged, what's up, man?
Man, it's a great day in Alabama. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, you know what? I know real quick you're going to have to get off. I wanted to, with all due respect to Wisconsin, based on what I've seen, they're gonna come in here with a chip on their shoulder. They've got something to prove to the SEC. especially Alabama, since we whooped their butts last time. They're going to bring it. They're going to bring it fast. So I think that really their only chance of really scoring is going to be early in the game. I'm going to give them 10. I thought about the 13 just like you did, but I'm cool with us slowly, methodically rotating, changing packages and everything. I got 38-10. I think that I even see all three quarterbacks playing with different packages and spreading the ball around. I really feel it's going to end up being 38-10.
Look, I think that's fair, man. I think that's fair, and that's what it's just kind of hard to tell because again, I mean, this backup he played last week looked decent against Middle Tennessee, but I just don't know. I mean, I can see them pulling out some stuff that they don't typically run. I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see. But 38,
give me a 4-man front and a dog about 3 feet in front of that doggone center of theirs. You know what? And you know what he's going to do? He's going to plug that hole. Save Keenan and save Jam. We're going to need him against Georgia.
Yeah, I'm with you. It sounds good to me. Well, Ragged, I got you 38-10. Oh, you got any MVPs for the game? Offensive, defensive, real quick? I forgot.
Actually, no. I think it's going to be everybody's going to shine. There's going to be somebody. I don't really see an MVP. If it's my team and I got this game plan and scheme, we're going to spread it around. Everybody's going to shine.
I like it. I'll take it, man. Giving the whole team cred. I like it.
Yeah.
Ragged, we appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game, and we'll talk soon, man.
God bless you, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good, man. God bless. Roll Tide. Good deal. That'll do it for us on this Free for All Friday. Appreciate everybody, all the messages here in the chat, all the listeners across radio, our stream, all that good stuff, man. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate Chase and Reed behind the glass, putting everything on for us here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Don't forget, we'll be doing my post-game show with Gray Robertson tomorrow on the Crimson Tide Sports Network following the outcome of this Alabama-Wisconsin game at 11. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, for all your breakdowns, the best breakdown in terms of what happens in the game prior. That being said, we'll see you guys on Monday right here, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.